This is Q.I.Q, the question in question. Brought to you by TherapyBites Art Lab. Here to take a bite out of modern-day pseudo-psychological psycho-malarkey. Now entering the Art Lab studio, today's T-Ballers, a collection of fellow strugglers, confronting personal challenges, navigating precarious relationships, and tackling trauma. Humans like each of us, juggling difficult human emotions, each here with unique life experiences, lived stories, and questions we'll bite into that just might help you too. And now, entering the Art Lab studio for the 9,880th time is the host of TherapyBites Q.i.Q, Doc Heath.
Hey, T-Ballers, welcome back to another game show of Question in Question, and we're glad that you're here. You know the rules, or I hope you know the rules. You might have heard of a show. What's that show called? Jeopardy. Something's in jeopardy, everybody. Well, what's in jeopardy here is some good, healthy, psychologically nutritious living, and we here at the Art Lab are going to help you out with that by helping educate you on some different ways of thinking to embiggen your life, embiggen your relationships, and on with the show. Let's take a look at some of our categories. You'll see that we have Couch Crumbs questions. Right there it is. Creature feature. We have a whole zoo full of characters to help your thinking. Social media smackdown. There's so much negative stuff on the social media. We want to educate you about that. FFTC is fresh from the therapy couch. That is our Couch Crumbs newsletter. And of course, Neuro. Let's get to our first question. And it comes from the Couch Crumbs newsletter for 200 Psycoins. This is the answer. This is a regular column in the Couch Crumbs newsletter penned by Dr. Eimer Freudnot, and we have on our timer 30 seconds to answer this question, and that begins now. Just type your answer in the chat there. I will put it up on the screen. And we look forward to seeing where your brain is this evening. Is it in psychologically nutritious thinking? But that's okay. We're going to help you with that. Just pop that right there in the chat. And we have only 14 seconds to go. Let's see if we have any takers for this. This is a regular column, the Couch Crumbs newsletter, which is penned by Dr. Eimer Freudnot, our chief shrinkstigator, and we don't have an answer just yet, so we will, or a question just yet in the proper format. So that is called, what is Eimer's Art Lab? And Art Lab stands for Accurate Realistic Thinking, Life Affirming Beliefs. We draw these topics, these questions, these answers straight from the material that we design especially for you T-Ballers, you TherapyBites Art Labbers, and you can get better at answering questions. And by just consuming that, you can go over and sign up to our Couch Crumbs newsletter absolutely free. And you can also sign up to our community feed by texting just sign me up or T-Ball. Or, hey guys, how you doing? Just anything at all. Just go through the sign-up process completely free. And that is by texting 1-870-686-4196. On to the next question here. And this question is coming from Social Media Smackdown. The answer is, this particular profession is dead. Oh, my. It met its demise at the hands of overdiagnosing, get back to the screen, overdiagnosing, pill-pushing social media brain clinicians who make a living by catastrophizing normal human experience, and this is what killed it. It's a particular profession that is now dead or it's on its last leg if we don't do something quick, and that's what we're here to do. Therapy Bites is here to revive it. It met its demise at the hands of overdiagnosing, giving everybody a label, pill pushing, social media brain clinicians who make a living by catastrophizing normal human experience, and that is what's killed it. And we have a response here that is in the form of a question that says, what is feelings frenzy? But no, I'm sorry, that is not the correct question. Please feel free, but that's not a feeling, is it? Please realize, cogitate, cognition, that you can go ahead and try again. That's okay. This particular profession is dead, meeting its demise at the hands of overdiagnosing, pill pushing, social media brain clinicians, making a living by catastrophizing your normal human experience, which includes emotions, and that's what killed it. And we at Therapy Bites Art Lab are here to try to breathe some life into the psychotherapy profession by normalizing human life, decatastrophizing human life. No, feelings are not a catastrophe, but that's also not the correct question here. Let's see if anybody gets it here. We are quickly running out of time, and that is all the time we have. The correct question is, what is psychotherapy? And we will be right back.
You are a fellow human struggling with difficult emotions, a fracturing relationship, parenting problem, mental health difficulty, have a psychotherapy from hell story to tell, or a challenging life experience question, and would like to share your story by stepping up to bat as a T-baller. Either register by texting Q.i.Q to 1-870-686-4196 and join our Therapy Bites community, or send a postcard with your name, address, phone number, email address, and age to the address on the screen. Therapy Bites, Q.i.Q, P.O. Box 1391, Jonesboro, Arkansas, 72403, 1391.
All right, and yes, that is the little post office box that Dr. Eimer Freud not checks on a regular basis. So if you have a question or an answer for which you would like for us to provide the question for, or vice versa, you can give us the answer, and we'll come up with the question, or provide the question. We'll come up with the answer. We're good either one. And if you want to give us permission, we will use that on the air right here. You can also get those to us by joining up with our community chat, absolutely free. All you have to do is text T-ball or Q.i.Q, or I don't know, hey guys, to 1-870-686-4196. And while I'm at it, you can also learn more about what we do here by going on to your favorite pod player and clicking that little, as we say, smash it, PSY, get it, smash it. And that lets us go ahead and give out to you on a regular basis some fresh, baked up, psychologically nutritious material that we hope benefits your life. Okay, let's go to the board one more time here. And this particular answer comes from Couch Crumbs Quotes. That is CCQ, Couch Crumbs Quotes, which our score girl Debbie does those, and she harvests those from the very own brain of Doc Heath here. We try to come up with some cool aphorisms that serve you guys. For 800 Psycoins, the answer is a psychiatrist who said everything can be taken. Oh, and that is the T-ball triple. So it is no longer worth 800 Psycoins, but it is worth, wow. Got your calculator out? 2,400? Did I get that right? Miss Sinley, my high school math teacher, would be proud that I got that just like that. But how hard is it really if you attend math class with Mrs. Sinley? That was her passion, teaching young knuckleheads like Doc Heath how to do math. The answer is psychiatrist who said everything can be taken from a man or a person. Everything can be taken from a person. But one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. And you can go ahead and put your question, please form your response in the form of a question right there in the chat. And I have my eyeball, both of them actually, on it right there. And we have just about 20 seconds to go on the clock. And yes, I am keeping track of that right there. See, we're halfway through our show. And we thank you guys for joining us. If you're enjoying this, it'd be really cool to hear from you guys. If there's something you want to see more of, we would love to hear that from you too. Again, you can get the regular feed from our newsletter, which comes out this Friday. Hot off the couch comes presses, just for you guys. This Friday morning, we will have a Clubhouse group tomorrow, and the links are in all of our show notes that are at your favorite pod player, so just join in there. And we're out of time for that particular question. The psychiatrist who said everything can be taken from a person but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. And the question is, we have a response here about this guy. Where is this guy? Do I have this guy hanging from my Dead Philosophers Club? Oh no, he's way across the room over there, and I don't have my float cam. I would turn it over there and show you. But Carl Jung, in his afterlife, as a finger puppet, is hanging right over there. I'm kind of expecting him to turn this way because he knows we're talking about him. Carl, are you there? Are you still Jung at heart? Speaking of which, some of you guys that do listen to the podcast know that Dr. Eimer Freudnot is on sabbatical, being psychovocationalized. Get it? Psychovocationalized. And we have a guest shrinkstigator in the art lab. Those drops, as we call them, because, we drop them in. They come right at the end of the episode. It's when we psychomolologize our special guest for the episode. It's a lot of fun. And we have a guest shrinkstigator called Dr. Jung. That is Joong, Jung. A, YMCA, is that how you do it, Village people? And A, Jung A.T.A.R.T, get it? T-A-R-T? I'll let you write that down and put it together. I won't spoil the punchline, the joke there. You guys can write that down and have a lot of fun with that. But yeah, Dr. Jung A.T.A.R.T is doing our analysis, and those are at the end of some of the episodes. I think he's doing a great job. We love Dr. Eimer Freudnot, but Dr. Tart is doing a great job also. Okay, the answer for that one, or the question for that one again, is the psychiatrist said everything can be taken from a person, but the one last thing, the last human freedoms, to choose one's own attitude in any given circumstances. And that, of course, is who is Viktor Frankl? Viktor Frankl. Viktor saw himself as on the bronze level of the Olympic platform of psychiatry, psychology. He would say that number one was Freud, and I think he did say number two was Carl Jung, and he drew himself, a little Jewish guy, as number three at the bronze level there. Isn't that so cute?
If you plan on being in the local area of your podcast player app and would like complimentary tickets to the TherapyBites Q.i.Q Art Lab studio audience, please search TherapyBites on your device and just smash that subscribe button. Your complimentary ticket grants you access to alerts so you'll never miss a show.
And we are back for our next question here. Let's go to the board, and it comes from, for 400 Psy coins. Oh, it is from Creature Feature. It is Creature Feature. Okay, I'm sorry, did I say 400? It is 600 Psy coins. My Freud not. Okay. And the answer is, if I speak up at work and voice my opinion, coworkers will know I don't know what I'm talking about. For 600 Psy coins, and it's 30 seconds on the clock. If I speak up at work and voice my opinion, my coworkers will know that I don't know what I'm talking about. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. So be careful with that. We're not talking social media malarkey here. We're talking some actual types of cognitive distortions. And there are two answers. If you get both, that becomes a 1,200 Psy-Coin answer. If you get one, it is 600 because it's not the T-ball triple. It's just straight up 600 Psy-Coins. But you can get either one. Either one is appropriate. Let's go to the board and see what responses we have here. No responses coming in yet. We still have about 12 seconds left. Takers, anybody? No takers just yet. We are counting down to the final moments of this question. If I speak up at work and voice my opinion, coworkers will know I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm thinking somebody out there is going to fall for imposter syndrome. See, it's not that. I've just saved you. Oh, and we have a response here. And the response is in the form of a question. What is emotional reasoning? I'm sorry, but that's not the correct question. And we're out of time. The correct question is, what is mind reading? What is mind reading? This is a person thinking that they know what someone else is thinking, but the other one could be catastrophizing. I know what someone is thinking, and it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. So that would be kind of a combination. You see, sometimes distorted thoughts, or ants or gnats, as we call them, come in pairs or sometimes triplets. And in this case, it is a doublet. It's a big old double. What is mind reading? What is the mind reading gnat, and what is the catastrophizing gnat? Let's go back to the board, and this comes from. Oh, it is also from a creature feature for 400 Psy-Coins. George's stomach hurts. He thinks based on a web search he must have some form of cancer. He thinks based on a web search he must have some form of cancer. It's not a good idea to diagnose your own cancer, even if you're a doctor. It's also not a good idea to diagnose your own mental disorders, or to diagnose your family members' mental disorders, or to diagnose your friends' mental disorders, or the person at the gas pump. Let's see if we have any answers here. Oh, okay, we have one. Let's go ahead and put that on the screen. What is maximizing? Well, actually, there is a minimizing. We can minimize, and I guess that's actually pretty close. But let me. Okay, yeah, but not close enough. It's kind of like horseshoes in Arkansas. Well, actually, it's not like horseshoes. And horseshoes actually get a point for being close. But I've never heard it called that. We have another few seconds, see if there's another response. And since we have no responses, the correct response is, what is the catastrophizing ant? But it could also be the underthinking ant. The underthinking ant is ignoring other important aspects of the situation, like you could have similar symptoms of a stomach hurting, but you're ignoring other more possible things. That sometimes a stomach ache is just a stomach ache. And we'll be right back.
Premier accommodations for our T-Ball contributors provided electronically by the luxurious Art Lab Studio, overlooking the steaming cesspool of pseudo-psychological social media psychomalarkey, and located in cyberspace on your favorite podcast hosting platform, where we invite you to the most psychomalogically thrilling podcast in town, while you feast on our award-winning psychologically nutritious buffet of TherapyBites cuisine, conscientiously cooked up by your hard-working T-Ball team chefs.
And we are back for our final round, folks, and let's go to the board. And it is from the category of neuro, but also creature feature. Yes, it is our first crossover question, and the answer is the TherapyBites concept. This is a TherapyBites concept on which one of our creature characters is based, to teach how humans often allow ourselves to be distracted from an unrecognized thought process or cognition. One more time, it's the TherapyBites concept where we humans allow ourselves to be distracted by or from an unrecognized thought process, which we call a cognition. And we have just about, since I repeated that question, about 10 seconds to go. See if anybody comes up with that. Let's see what answers we have on the board. It is one of our high-value concepts, which is also represented by a creature. And we're about out of time on our show. The actual timer's saying here we have time for this one last question. Oh, we have a response. Let's put that on the screen. There we go. We can move that around right under. Who is that guy? Oh, that's Soren Kierkegaard. Just kind of all fuzzy this evening. Maybe he didn't have enough coffee. A concept which is one of our creature characters is to teach how humans often allow ourselves to be distracted, distracted over there. And therefore, we don't see some thought process we're having. And we don't have an answer yet, or really formed in the form of a question. It is a gray herring. A gray herring, we have coined that term. From logic, a red herring is a distraction from the point of the argument. Can I, have some pudding? No, the price of tea in China went up. Well, what's the price of tea in China have to do with pudding, for heaven's sakes, unless it's tea pudding, which sounds kind of gross, actually. But in the art lab, we call it a gray herring because cell bodies in the brain are gray, and they're the workhorses, powerhouses of our thought processes versus all the white matter wiring in between those. And a gray herring, it distracts you from what's really going on. An emotion can be a gray herring. What someone else is doing can be a gray herring, and it's just a distraction. Thank you guys for joining us. That is the end of our show. We look forward to seeing you right back here at 9 o'clock on Tuesday. That is Memphis, Chicago time. Thanks for joining us.
Next time on Therapy Bites Art Lab Q.i.Q, Doc Keith and T-Ball Collars face off against steaming piles of pseudo-psychological psychomalarkey directly from your favorite social media platforms, or perhaps from the psychotherapy couch of a pill-pushing, emotion-demonizing, bobble-headed, woo-woo clinician who fed their kooky Kool-Aid to you. This is Art Potto speaking. Therapy Bites Q.i.Q is a Dr. I'm a Freudnot production. Distributed by the Therapy Bites Art Lab Podcast.